everybody. It's your girl, Amanda Lockhart Davis, and this is Life Uncensored, navigating adulthood one episode at a time. And I'm glad you're here with me. We have a great show for you today. The title of today's episode is The Journey to Self Acceptance with T.A. Riddle. I can't wait till you meet him. He is just an amazing soul. He has an amazing story. And I am going to venture out by saying, I think you're going to walk away from this episode with some gems dropped. We are talking about, like I said, the journey to self acceptance. So that's who's riding shotgun with me today, T.A. Riddle, right? He is an author, a lawyer, and wellness enthusiast whose work centers Black queer joy, chosen family, and the transformative power of story. Based in Philadelphia, he brings a rare intersectional perspective, blending legal training, immersive storytelling, and a passion for healing to every project. Riddle's debut novel, Dancing Like Nobody's Watching, Contra Dance, celebrates resilience, love, and the vibrant house music scene of 1980s Chicago. So, ladies and gentlemen, grab your wine, grab your tea, grab your water, whatever it is, get cozy, get comfortable, and please welcome to the stage Mr. T.A. Riddle.
That was quite an introduction.
Hello. How are you?
How are you?
I'm great. I'm so glad to have you. And can I tell you how dapper you are? I just love it.
What are you talking about?
You are camera ready.
Thank you.
We are glad to have you. And I want you to know, now that you have been on the show, you are part of the Life Uncensored family. You're riding shotgun with me today, and I'm glad to have you on this journey. So I just want to get right into it. You know, for people who are meeting you for the first time, who is T.A. Riddle, and what experiences have shaped the person who you are today?
Okay, great question. So T.A. Riddle is a lot of things. T.A. Riddle is a writer, a lawyer, a Black gay man who has spent much of his life trying to figure out how to bring all three of those identities into the same room. Most of my life I've spent trying to do that. I was shaped by family, faith, the law, the Black community, the LGBTQ plus community, and I think shaped by coming of age during a time when being fully yourself could carry a real cost, right? And so I think my creative work kind of grows out of those intersections and out of a desire, I think, to tell stories about people whose lives are often reduced to just only one part of who they are.
Yeah.
That's me. Pretty
I
simple.
love that. No, that's amazing. I just love the way you put that because, like you said, we are just made up of so many different things: our environment, our family, our own genetic makeup, just our experiences. We're made up of so many things, and with that, we also continue to evolve and grow. So who we were this time last month might be different this month.
Yeah.
You know, and coming to know that, coming to that self-awareness and self-acceptance, I think is an integral part of who we are. So I'm glad you said that in the way that you said that.
Thank you.
Now, I want to talk a little about this law thing here because you said to me when we talked before that you spent many years building your law career, and it's a successful one at that. But then you embraced your creative side. How? Why? What?
Wow. So law was a second career, and it was a career. So first of all, let me just say, most of the decisions that I've made in my life, Amanda, I've made because someone else wanted me to. My choice of major was my grandfather's idea. It was just kind of like, I think you should do this, right? I had no interest in business, but he was a businessman, and that's what I ended up going into because of my grandfather.
Okay.
But over time, I think honestly, age kind of gave me permission to really lean into that creative side, I kept them separate. And there was a
Hmm.
point in my life, I reached a really dark place, and it was the creative side that saved me. It really
So
wasn't. Go ahead. No.
I'm sorry because I want to pause there. I think you just said something that's really important. There are so many people who might say the same thing you just said. A lot of my choices were based on what other people wanted, thought, told me to do. However, right? How would you describe that? Was that a pressure? Was it manipulation? Was it acceptance? You know, the hunger for acceptance. What was it for you specifically that allowed you to let people guide your decisions and what path your life took?
That's an awesome question that I don't know that I've given a whole lot of thought to. I was just on autopilot, but but now thinking about it, I do think it was acceptance. Who doesn't want it, right? I wanted to be. I'm the firstborn grandchild in my family. I'm my father's firstborn, so I'm like the dream. Like everything is placed on that one person, right? That was me. And I didn't
Mm,
want to let anybody down. I wanted my mother to be proud of me. I wanted my grandfather to really be proud of who I was and what I had accomplished, which I was, in some ways trying to mirror his path because I really respected him.
mm,
Um, I don't think it was manipulation or intention. I think people really thought or saw my potential and just kind of from that shaped or tried to mold me in a way that they thought I should. I don't think it was manipulative at all.
right, right. And here's the thing, that's not everybody's story.
True. No,
You
very true.
know, there's people who there was, and I use manipulation only as an example, but you know, folks who do not have the best intentions in mind for you. And sometimes people can have the absolute best intentions for you, but it doesn't mean that it's right for you or that
Absolutely.
it's meant for you. But there's no ill will,
No, no,
right?
no.
But unfortunately, like I said, unfortunately, that's just not everybody's story. There are
Yeah,
cases where it is ill will intended, you know, for whatever reason. So it's good
right.
to hear that from you. You are at a point of self awareness that you know that it really wasn't malice, you know, any intentions behind that, but more or less, like you said, I like the word potential. They saw a potential in you.
It's all about potential. And I think so. One of the interesting things that I talk about now with my friends is that I'm from the generation that first generation of integration, right?
Okay.
And so you think about what was happening in the world, and we finally had a shot, right, at an education. And so everybody was
Mm,
screaming, "You got to go to college, you got to do this," because that's what I think Black people we thought that was the way out, right? So I really think it was they were thinking of me and wanting me to live a better life than they did, and so they were
mm,
me in that way because that's what they saw as the path
mm-hmm,
to the American dream, right? Whatever that
mm,
like or how that feels. And I walked that path most of my life. I think I told you this. This was 2000 and hold on, 2017 before I identified as gay at work.
mm.
That wasn't that long ago, and it took me a long time.
It
My
wasn't long ago. You're right. Yeah.
I would take my earring out when I would go to work because that wasn't professional. That was how I was kind of raised, if you will. So I tried to walk that path.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would still be walking that path had I not hit the wall that I hit that said, "Oh, slow down, buddy."
Mm.
And my only way out was creating, and I just started creating. And once I made the connection that creating sustains me, it gives me life in many many ways. I decided that I couldn't live the rest of my life without it. So I've got to figure out how to fit it in. Otherwise,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So why, or let me rephrase that. How did you know that the creativity was writing? Why not, I don't know, pottery? Why
Mhm.
not dancing? Why not, you know what I mean? Well, how did you know?
So I'm a creative. I can say that now and not feel bad about it. Uh,
Don't feel bad.
I'm a musician, so I grew up playing in church. I played the organ, played piano, I sang, writing. I think this story was placed in me to tell. I don't necessarily think,
Hmm.
I don't see myself as like kind of a writer who's going to spit out 20 novels before I leave the planet. I don't see that. I don't. Two, maybe three. But they're all stories that I feel like I've been spared, if you will, to tell.
Okay.
And so I think what got me out of the dark place was making candles, honestly, Amanda. And I do that on the
Candles.
side. It saved me. Candle making saved me. Yep. I
Talk
was
about that a little bit.
so there was something about so what happened, without giving the audience all of the gory details. I was in a really dark place, and a lot of it was work related because I'm in a career that I don't love. And I think that's most of our place. I don't know how many people love what they do. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to spending the rest of my life doing what I love.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, most of it not. Right. And so I hit this dark space, and at one night I decided to take a candle making, like it was it's called Wax and Wine in Philly, in Tennessee, and I just decided I was going to
I've
go.
been there.
You been there? Okay. Oh
I've been
wow,
there.
crazy. So I go to Wax and Wine. I meet a really nice African American couple that had come from Atlantic City, and it was BYOB. I had a little bottle of something, and they had a little bottle, and we sat, and that experience was just so calming to me. And I left there thinking, I feel better. And then when I got home, I went online. I found a place called Candle Science. I ordered a candle making kit. Candle making kit comes. I start making candles. And then it became something that was really calming for me. It kept me out of that dark space. And then one of my sisters, that was our brother sister bonding time. And so then every week we're getting together, we're making candles. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Wow.
Part of me wants to sell them, but I'm not really, that's not what
Yeah.
I want to do. And so that was kind of the beginning. I was like, oh, this is that thing. I
Hmm.
stopped playing instruments. I stopped singing because church wore me out. And so
Hmm.
I didn't want to go back to that. So I think this, I'm a creative. And,
Mm-hmm.
and so this was, I think writing was one path, candle making one path. I'm making magnets now. I'm just like, I'm just creating.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
really happy. It's really what's so scary about it. People would think, oh, you're a lawyer. Hmm, I'm a creative, and I really enjoy doing
That's amazing.
it.
And you know what? That's inspirational too. That we don't have to be stuck in one place.
You know,
A label doesn't define us. And if we want to be defined by a label that's our choice, but it can change
absolutely, absolutely,
eh, on our time frame, and
absolutely.
that's okay. So let's talk a little bit about your book, Dancing Like Nobody's Watching,
Mhm.
Contra Dance. I love that title. It follows a young black man searching for identity and love, and a sense of belonging. How much of Jason's story, or his journey, should I say, reflects your own, would you say?
Um, I probably shouldn't say this, but Jason is me in
Okay.
many ways. There are, I think, particularly the questions that he asked throughout the book, like, where do I belong? Can I be loved? As kind of my
Mm,
own self. What happens when the life expected of me no longer fits? I think
mm,
is going through all of those things. I think his circumstances are fictional. So I did create some. It is a work of fiction, but in
yeah.
many ways, the struggles that Jason has in this story are struggles that I actually faced in my 20s. Um, really
Mm,
trying to figure out who I was in the world and where I fit.
mm, okay. And did you feel a sense of freeing writing Jason?
Very cathartic.
Yeah.
Very cathartic for me. Um, I cried a lot because
Mm. During the process.
during the
Mm.
process, there's a chapter in the book I didn't intend to write. I think um, the ancestors, the universe, however you want to frame it, it was put in me, and I wrote that chapter and literally cried as I'm writing. Like I'm
Mm.
crying, reading what my words were, and I didn't intend to do it. So I just kind of let the process, you know, be the process, and the book that I published isn't the book that I started writing in 1999. It morphed and changed, and I just let it. I just let it. I just started just going with the flow.
So, can I jump out there and say, just the way you just described that to me, it sounds like it was almost like a love letter to yourself.
And in the book, I frame it as a love letter to all of the people who danced while nobody was watching before it was even cool to do it. But yeah, I'm one. I am him. You're absolutely right.
Mm.
Powerful observation. Thank you. Yeah,
Wow, that's amazing. I just wonder how many people. First of all, let's pause for a moment. You wrote a freaking book. So many people want to think about it, say it, joke about it, but really there's seriousness behind it, who never do it.
hmm
For whatever reason, fear, don't know where to start, don't think that's for them, whatever their reason is. You wrote this book, like you said, you started in 99, right? 1999. So why now? Because tell me again the published date.
December 6th,
Oh,
2025.
right. So why now?
It's a great question. I don't think I had a choice. I think I
Ooh,
delayed and delayed and delayed
ooh.
for as long as I could. And something clicked. I don't know what it was. The stars realigned. I have absolutely no idea what happened. But in the early part of 2025, it just started pouring, and all I could do was write. I literally,
Mm,
my best friend, I was like, I just would write and no one would hear from me. It was just really crazy. But I think that was just kind of the process, doing what it's supposed to do. And I was a willing participant. So it really kind of flowed. But I think releasing it now almost feels like an act of resistance as people are
mm,
trying to erase us, all of us, our
mm.
stories. Yeah, I didn't intend it, but I think the timing of it, based on what's happening in the world, I think that that's not a coincidence.
Okay.
Because they're trying to suppress anything that's black. Uh,
Hmm.
this is a black story. It's a black story. It's a black gay story, right? And so all of that feels like my way of saying no, slow down, not too fast. We still are here, and we still have something to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you think that you do you think that 1999 you would look at 2025 you and say, wait, no, not yet. We're not ready. Or would it be the opposite?
No, they definitely the former.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. 1999 me was scared,
Hmm.
scared of even having this conversation in a public forum.
Oh, wow.
There was a point in time where I was really trying to convince myself that I could release this book, use a pen name, and never reveal my face. And my
Oh,
friends were like, Troy, no. I was like, well, Daft Punk does it. I said, but that's music. People want to connect with people want to connect with writers, right? I was like, no, I could just show up at Barnes and Nobles with a mask on. Literally, the people are like, no,
yeah.
that's never going to work.
Yeah.
It's funny because I come up with a name. I was going to do J.D. Hall. J.D.
Okay.
for a law degree. Hall is my mother's maiden name. And
Okay.
when I told my mother I was going to write under, she said, "Who was JD?" She
Like,
was
I ain't named nobody JD.
He's like, "Who is JD?" Yeah, no. So 1999, me would have been like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Mm.
You're not ready. You're not ready."
Mm. But on the flip side, does 2025 you now know that 1999 you needed 2025 you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And needed me to go through what I went through for that quarter of a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shaped you, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot about myself through that writing process. I think through reliving some of the stuff that's in the book was really helpful
Hmm.
and I think a powerful reminder of the why. Because I really
Mm.
believe, Linda, that my life was spared to tell this story. I really do
Mm.
believe that because I
Mm.
lost a lot of friends. The whole purpose of this is to honor them, like the friends, like one day you'd be out in a club partying, a week later you don't see somebody, the following week you find out they're gone. Like that was
Wow.
my life. And at what should have been, I think, the most fun and exciting days of my life, my early 20s, were really scary.
Hmm.
Every potential interaction with someone could be a death sentence.
Wow. Yeah.
Our desire for connection and love is so strong. I don't think we didn't have a choice. Like I think
Right.
everybody would have just stopped doing what we were doing if we could. But
Got you.
that's not human. That's not
Yeah.
human, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Everybody craves and desires love in some form.
Absolutely.
In some form. And that comes in the magic word for today, the acceptance. It comes in the closeness. It comes in so many different forms. And you saying that really highlights that need in that way. And that's a human need.
Mhm.
It's a human need. I want to talk. You talked to me when we first spoke a few weeks ago about. It was a brief conversation, but we spoke a little bit about trauma in the Black community,
Mhm.
um, what that carries. Specifically, we were speaking about Black men and that trauma,
Mhm.
and how it's often met with silence and dealt with in silence,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Why do you think those conversations are still, even now in 2026, so difficult to have? And what does healing look like? Because I feel like when we compare today from 20 years ago, 10 years ago,
Mhm.
there's so much more acceptance. There's just a difference. But these conversations are still hard. They're still difficult.
Mhm. You've got so as you said, like I think many black men are taught that silence is strength
Yeah.
and that vulnerability is dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so
Mm-hmm.
that's the lesson we learn from really young, like right. And I think that lesson helps us survive certain rooms or in certain spaces, right? It helps us navigate. So I do think that there's some positive in it, but it can also leave us carrying pain that we've never named. And I think for me, kind of healing begins with truth, right? And
Mm.
having safe places to speak without judgment, allowing ourselves to breathe and being willing to seek help. That's just not, I think it's really a hard concept because it's not something that we grow up kind of experiencing.
Absolutely.
It's funny because I think like my mom is in her 80s and she's not aging the way I thought she would age. And it's really been hard for me. And I think my mother could benefit from talking to somebody because she's a stuffer. My mother's always been a stuffer. The few times I've ever seen my mother cry is because I barged in her room when the door was closed. Right? She's never that's just who she is, and I think she has internalized and carried so much that it's now manifesting in this way and this appearing as she's aging.
Oh, wow.
I really believe this, and I
Mm-hmm.
have asked her to talk to somebody, to consider talking to somebody about it. She's clinically depressed in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
She won't do it.
That generation.
Yeah, and that's who raised me, right? So
Yeah.
it is just kind of one of those things. I think hopefully at some point we will find the courage to just kind of say no to that
Mm-hmm.
foolishness and start seeking help and having these conversations. I really do hope that if nothing else, particularly for Black gay men who survived the AIDS crisis, to have this conversation about healing because I think
Mm-hmm.
we move through life pretending to be fine, and I think those that the trauma from that time because there's no way to live through that and not be impacted by
Mm-hmm.
it. No,
Absolutely.
right? And
Absolutely.
so I think we have just carried it in and out of relationships, wonder why they don't work, because we still have some healing to do.
Right. And they say you carry baggage from every relationship to the next one, and you just keep accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. But the baggage starts before you even get into your first relationship.
Exactly.
so,
Exactly. We
so
start packing at birth. They start putting it
yeah,
in there. Yep. We start
yeah,
packing
yeah. You, you, you mentioned, about your mother, and she's not aging the way you imagined it.
that. Hmm.
I feel like there's just some people in our lives that we just feel like, number one, they're going to live forever. Just duh, they're going to live forever, right? Um, Even though intellectually we know that that's not necessarily true,
Hmm.
feel that way. How do you think your mother, if she was, I don't know, let's say 20 years younger,
Hmm.
right? If she was in a generation 2 years later, 2 decades later, I'm sorry, how do you think, just what you know about her, do you think there would be a difference? How do you think she would be today at the question, Mom, why don't you think about going to see someone or talk to someone?
I think she'd be different. No,
No.
no.
I would, I think the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's only now that it's becoming okay to say out loud, oh yeah, I'll talk to my therapist
Hmm.
and they
Hmm.
gave me a good idea about such such. Or like now it's okay to say that.
Yes.
Um, it just hasn't been specifically for us as Black people for so long. And then as you drill down into the layers,
The
black
men.
black men,
Yeah.
black gay men,
Mm.
black men who didn't grow up in a two-parent home, black, just
Yes.
there's so many layers. There's
Yeah.
so many layers.
Yeah.
So I think that it's important. An important part of our makeup is where we came from, who raised us, what we
Hmm.
saw.
Exactly.
Because to your point, we were taught certain things. Women are taught certain things.
Hmm.
Men are taught certain things, right? And then you add race to it.
Hmm.
Then you add where you come from to it,
Hmm.
right? And not that those
Even
things were
religion.
bad. And religion to, yes, that's a big one. Then you add religion to it. That's a big one. Um, and it's not that they're bad things.
Hmm.
They do work, like you said, to use your words, in certain rooms.
Hmm.
But what's lost is the context while teaching said things.
Mm.
So it's appropriate, and this is a completely made up example just to illustrate my point.
Okay.
It makes perfect sense to tell a young lady to uh, make sure that you sit with your legs closed while you're sitting at church,
Hmm.
while
Hmm.
you're sitting in a boardroom and your legs aren't just spread wide open.
Right. 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 Right.
Does that necessarily mean that if she's at a slumber party with her girlfriends at 12 years old, that they can't sit on the floor Indian style because their legs are open? You know what I mean? Again, a completely made up example just to make my point. But there's certain boxes and certain context that needs to be placed to make it make sense. But the problem with that is there's too many examples. There's too many scenarios to be able to hit every single one for one lesson. You
Mm.
can't possibly. So we're kind of in this state of perpetual, oh, I should have.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't. Oh, I should have. Oh, I forgot. Oh, you
Right.
know what I mean? And I'm saying this as a parent of three boys,
Hmm.
two who are adults, and there's things that as parents you realize after the first one, oh, okay, with the second one, I'm not. Oh, with this third one, I'm not. Or, oh, with or with the girl, I'm going to do this, but not with the. There's so many variables, TA. And I say all that to come full circle to say to you, how could it have been different for you if someone had given you different context of the lessons you were taught growing up?
Hmm. Oh, Amanda. I think. Hmm, I think it would have given me the ability to make better decisions. Honestly,
Mm,
I think that context would have helped me make better life choices.
wow.
I do. I had never, but when you asked that question, that's the first thing that popped to mind. I think it would help me make better choices because then
Mm,
I have the full picture.
yeah. Or at
Without,
least more of the picture.
yeah, a more fuller picture. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Um, but still operating with limited, right? Yeah, making decisions with kind of a limited um, purview into
Yeah.
kind of what's happening, right? You just make the decision based on that limited information. It's never going to be the right decision. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
all the information. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Get lucky, I guess, and
Right.
right. Yeah, but I
Right.
think yeah, more context would help me make. I think in even maybe navigate life a little better because I would have
Mm-hmm.
made a decision.
Mm-hmm. I think we can all say that in one way or another. I think we could all say that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk a little bit more in your book, and just based on the conversation that we had such a good conversation when we first
We
spoke.
did, we did, we did.
Um, chosen family is a very powerful theme in your book.
Mm-hmm.
Chosen being the operative word here. What
Mm-hmm.
does that phrase mean to you personally?
Mm-hmm.
And why was it important to include that in Jason's story?
Okay, so I had a thought when you asked the question. I think the fact that we say chosen family is almost a snub.
Hmm.
I am in control of this of my family because we don't get to pick the biological family we're born into, right? And for many LGBTQ plus people, especially during the time in which the novel is set, chosen family was sometimes the difference between isolation and survival
Mm.
because you couldn't go to the family because family was like, oh no, we're not dealing with this. Are you kidding
Mm-hmm.
me? Like, a lot of friends, like I was one of the very lucky ones in my friend circle who had a mother who didn't, she didn't kick me out. She didn't disown me. Um, uh, she wasn't embarrassed by me. Like, but I was the exception and not the rule. And so
Mm-hmm.
chosen family is how we survive because oftentimes um, biological family just I'm with that gauge.
Mm-hmm.
Like so we're out navigating life, being true to who we are without that family. But we still, once again, people want connection and love and
Yeah.
support. And so the fact that we found it despite
Wow.
the family
Mm-hmm.
not being it's not coming from the family, we found it anyway. We chose. So I think
Mm-hmm.
almost a reclamation of power and that you thought you had me down, but I
Mm-hmm.
found some people over here are holding me down.
Mm-hmm.
Is my family. So it was really important to include that theme because I think that's how we survived, particularly in the 80s and 90s when 2026 is almost cool sometimes to be like I really kind of long for the time where it wasn't so. Literally, I was like it's really hip now, right? I kind of like the age of secrecy and people wondering, right? I spent most of my life in that, right? So this is a little jarring for me if I'm being honest. But when in Rome, I'm trying to get with I'm trying to get with the program.
I love that. I love that you say that. You know, you saying, that chosen family is the difference between, what'd you say, isolation
And survive.
and survival.
Hmm.
That's huge. That's huge because you isolate yourself. Now what?
Hmm.
But living in survival mode, it's not bringing happiness either.
No,
It's a double-edged sword.
exactly.
And how do you go through life having to choose? And how can you say, oh, which one is the lesser of the two evils? It's like they're
Equally bad.
both equally bad. And and again, I'm speaking not from experience, but just listening to your story.
Hmm.
It sounds like having to choose is a matter of what others how it'll make others feel. How comfortable will they be? And so I'm going to make this choice of this double edged sword. I'm going to just choose isolation because it'll make this group
Mm.
comfortable.
Ooh,
For example.
I think that happens to this day. I
Mm,
think, I think there are people that are doing it to this day because they're so afraid of the the isolation from family, that they
Mhm.
would rather live an isolated life
Mm.
with glimpses of that family a part of it, as
Yeah.
opposed to living in their truth and being completely isolated.
I
I
could
think it happens
imagine.
more than
I
we know.
Yeah, no, you're saying that. I think you might be right, unfortunately. I
Yeah,
think you might be right. I wanna continue this story. Troy, you're awesome. We're gonna take us a quick commercial break. We'll be back in just about 60 seconds because I want to continue this conversation. I feel like it's very important, and I think it's really going to touch some people who are still living in that isolation and trying to figure out how and why to come out of it. So let's come back. You guys stay tuned. Go refresh your drinks. Go refresh your refreshments and come back with me and T.A. Riddle. We'll be back in just a moment.
Take charge of your financial future with our interactive workbooks, The Basics of Financial Literacy, A Healthy Money Mindset, and The Basics of Financial Literacy, A Healthy Money Mindset for Teens and Young Adults. Now available on Amazon. Dive into practical exercises and start building a solid financial foundation today. I'm Amanda Lockhart Davis, founder of Jax Consulting Services, bringing over 25 years of industry experience to our multifaceted consulting firm. With a passion for strategic problem solving and unmatched customer service, we have crafted the firm to offer a wide range of consulting services. From financial management and strategic planning to educational workshops and specialized notarization services, Jax Consulting Services is dedicated to supporting the diverse needs of our clients. Leveraging extensive experience across various sectors, we stand ready to guide your business toward success. That's Jax Consulting Services. Visit us on the web at www.jax-consulting.com.
We are back with author T.A. Riddle. The Journey to Self Acceptance is the episode title. And we've been having a great conversation. Thanks for coming back with us. Mr. Riddle, I appreciate you.
You.
We've been having such a good convo. I want to talk just a little bit about something that I feel like is the natural next step into our conversation, and that's authenticity.
Mm,
You've said that authenticity can come from, or come with, I'm sorry, come with a cost,
mhm,
which I think we all can relate to in some form or fashion, right?
mhm.
Um, Looking back, what what do you think you gain once you stop living for others' expectations, for what everybody else expected of you and thought you should do and thought you should be? What did you gain?
Mm. Um, Amanda, I gained peace.
Mm,
Not a life without difficulty,
mhm,
but a life that finally belonged to me.
mm.
Um, I've gained deeper relationships because people are no longer kind of relating to that carefully edited, curated version of who I was,
Oh,
right?
oh,
So that has helped me deeper relationships because I'm showing up as who I am, right? And kind of, yeah, kind of to what you just said, like authenticity can, it can cost you approval, but living for approval can cost you your own voice. Now,
mm-hmm,
you compare, I'd rather keep my voice.
mm-hmm,
And so I think
mm-hmm.
to live authentically has um, made a more peaceful, um, joyous, um, happy life. Because and I don't have to remember which version of me I presented to you the last time we were together.
There it is. There it is. And so many people are well, well into middle age,
Hmm.
still doing just that,
Absolutely.
right? And we're not talking just Like you got folks who will tell a lie just for the sake of telling a lie, but they can't remember who they told which lie to, right? Or which part of the lie, or which part of the story was the lie, and who they told it to. There's so that's got to be so exhausting. So to your point, using that as the example, it's like living a lie that you got to keep up with and remember, or and don't let two different people who got two different stories come up in the same room together.
Like who you're going to be? Like who are you going to be? Right?
Do you feel like you have anyone in your circle who also gained that sense of peace, using your word peace, by deciding to live for themselves and not others?
Yes, my best friend.
Yeah.
Was a PK. A lot of struggles with religion and his identity. Who has now reached? He's a year older than me. We met at FAMU. Best friends since then, and he is living his best life now.
Choosing peace. I was literally just saying to my best friend. It was just last. Was it last? Yeah, it was last night. As a matter of fact, you hear choosing peace and blah blah blah, right? And it sounds like a catchphrase. Yeah. I really recently am understanding what it means to purposefully choose peace and what that does for you, right? You can't change people. You can't change what they think about you. You can't change what they say about you. You can't change so many things, but you can change you and how you decide to deal with things.
Mm-hmm.
And choosing peace over chaos, whew, whew, what a weight off.
Absolutely.
What a
Yep.
weight off. And I just wish that more people could come to that realization sooner.
Yeah, people would find the courage because I think it
Oh,
does take courage.
courage,
Yeah.
courage, courage. Word of the day, courage.
No, I think if people could find the courage to do it, they'd be like, "What took me so long? Like, and why? Yeah, why didn't I do this sooner?" Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's easier. It's just an easy way to move through life.
yeah. Why do you think there's so many people that haven't chosen that yet or haven't come to the realization yet?
I don't think people see it enough.
Oh,
I don't think you witness it enough. You, so yeah, I don't think you see it enough. Like that, you can't be what you can't see.
yeah. No, that is a great way to look at that. Wow. Wow.
If if more
And you're right.
people living authentically, being happy, I think everyone it's infectious actually, right? And if they were seeing it at every turn, I want some of that, right?
Hmm.
What you see is the misery that is human existence for the most part because we're living these inauthentic lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's powerful. That's so powerful. You know, just I think we go through life, we want to live up to our parents' expectations. We're young and we're in school and we want to get the good grades and we want to blah, 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 and do good in sports and whatever the thing is. And then you start branching out your relationships. You have friends and now you want to help meet their expectations. And then you get in relationships. You want to meet those expectations. And
Mhm.
then you get bosses and, coworkers and you want to meet those expectations.
And they're all
Eh,
different.
And they're all different expectations.
So let's complicate this, right? They're all different
Yes.
expectations.
Yes, yes. It's like trying to juggle multiple personalities. But when you decide that, see me, love me, here I am.
Exactly. Take it or leave it. It's what you got. You can take it or leave it. Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that you uh, go through life treating people like crap because you feel like it. And that's, see me, love me, I treat people like crap. It's not to say that. It's
Absolutely.
to say that you live in a way that you are unapologetically yourself
Mhm.
without harming others.
Harming others.
Not There's a difference between pleasing
Mhm.
others
Not harming.
and harming others.
Mhm.
You don't have to harm someone to not please them. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other. But
Right. Right.
I like that you say that people probably just aren't seeing it enough. Or if they are seeing it, they don't believe it because it's not real for them.
Mm, mm, mm-hmm, mm. I
Right?
like that. Mm-hmm.
Right? There's so many people who I've heard say things like, oh, who would do something like that? Like you hear that all the time. Who would do that? And somebody's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you wouldn't,
Exactly.
just because you haven't seen it or you don't know someone who has, doesn't mean that it's not happening. Whatever it is, it can literally be anything.
Right.
But you hear that all the time. Well, who would do that? Why would
Yeah.
this is no different? No
Nope.
different.
Nope.
Writing this book seems to have been about more than just telling your story.
Mm. It was. Writing has allowed me. Um, mm, it allowed me to return to a very complicated time with more compassion than I had while I was living it.
Compassion for others or compassion for yourself?
Just compassion for what was happening.
Period. Oh, wow. Wow.
When I tell you, it was a scary, scary time. It was a scary time. Right? I could finally kind of honor the fear, the beauty, the humor, the loss that existed side by side. But when you're
Yeah.
in it, you don't necessarily experience it the same way. Sometimes you have to step
Oh,
back, right,
I
and
see what you
revisit
mean.
it. And so I think writing it, it was a part of kind of my healing process. So through Jason, and the people around him, I was able to kind of give language to emotions that I carried quietly for years.
Do you feel like the healing process was tangible? Like you feel the healing?
Just releasing it, just finally putting it into the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just putting it out there. That was
Yeah. You had to get that weight off of you. That mental block, that stigma, all the negative words, you had to get it off you. And then decide to walk in your own shoes, not somebody else's shoes.
mhm,
Walk in your own truth, not what somebody else saw for you.
right.
That's huge. That
Took
that's
me
huge.
some years to get here, but God.
Let me tell you something. As long as it happened on this side of glory, as long as you got here,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Listen, not everybody gets 2 + 2 the first day it's taught.
Yeah. Right.
Right? And that's the what I believe is the most special part of people's individual journeys.
Mm-hmm.
You're not running a race with whoever's beside you. You are running your own race. You are going at your own pace. And whenever you get there, as long as you're not purposefully sabotaging yourself, I think that might be a
Right.
caveat.
Right.
But whenever you get there, and you should find joy in that. You should find triumph in that, not in how long it took me to get here, right? Because think about it. There's people who are, you know, bought their first house at 18.
Mm-hmm. And then others.
There's some people who 60, 65, 70 never owned a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Turned 75, finally bought that house.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter when you got to the accomplishment that you were looking for. What matters is that journey, what you learned along the way.
Right.
And then to me, and I'm speaking for myself here, and you can chime in and tell me if you agree or not. What's more important than that is who you helped by going on your journey and finishing it.
That part. And I think with our failure or refusal to live authentically cheats people that we know
Mm-hmm.
because we aren't showing up authentically. Those people don't benefit, and
Yeah.
they're supposed to in those encounters with us, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm,
That's a great point.
we meet people and come across people, and I've started to pay attention. Like I see somebody like 2 or 3 times. I'm thinking, okay, universe, what are you saying to me? Like, do they have the $1 million that I need? Like I'm always now questioning. Like, why am I keeping like our paths cross? And I think when people don't live authentically, the, the purpose, the real divine, if you will, purpose of those paths crossing
Yeah.
never happens
Oh, it
because
never comes to fruition.
tuition. No. And so we have a world where people are not getting what they really should be getting because people aren't living authentically.
Mm.
That sounds really weird, but I really do believe
I
that.
don't think it does. I'm going to challenge you,
Okay.
if you will allow me.
Absolutely.
If you allow me, I'm going to challenge you and ask you to speak directly to the person listening or watching who is struggling with whatever. It might be with their sexuality, it might be with saying to grandma or mom or auntie, no, I don't want to be a freaking accountant just because everybody in the family was.
Right.
Or, you know,
Right.
struggling with it could be whoever, right? I
Mhm.
want to ask you to speak directly to them and,
Mhm.
and talk to them about what it looks like to release trying to be something you're not for everybody else and just being who you are, owning it and accepting it and loving yourself a little bit more because of it.
Mm. So I would say in that in that existence, there has to be some discomfort because you're not
Yeah.
being kind of really who you are. I say,
Yeah.
but that discomfort is information,
Oh.
and right, and so if your life feels too small or kind of borrowed, you're living somebody else's life. Pay attention to that feeling. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to change everything overnight, but you can begin with one honest choice. I would tell them to find people that they don't have to shrink around, right? And remember that it's never too late. I'm 60 and I'm still
And
making
don't look a day close to 60,
for sure.
but nonetheless.
Okay. And I am just now finding the courage to do that. It's a scary place to be only because it's unfamiliar
Oh, yeah.
and I believe our baggage suggests that that's not for us. So it becomes a
Mm.
scary thing. I think it's part of, we said we start packing those bags as soon as we get here.
Yeah.
I think all of that
Yeah.
stuff is a part of why we feel these things. We're not living authentically. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. It does. I want to say this in a way that doesn't sound condescending.
Mhm.
Uh, I find pity, I find sorrow for people who feel like they have to pretend to be who they're not in fear of what someone else might say or think or do. Um, I, I, and I say this because I have children. I don't know if I would feel the same way if I wasn't a mother.
Mhm.
But to be in a place where you feel like you have to lie in any capacity for acceptance, um, for peace. Like, I want to keep the peace with the family, so I don't. They
Mhm.
don't need to know that I'm not really going to school for journalism. I'm going to school for to be a painter. I just want to keep the peace. I'm lying, whatever you're lying, hiding. And when I say lying, I don't mean lying in that
Sure.
sense. I mean lying to yourself,
Mhm.
really, not being yourself.
Mhm.
Um, I just feel a great well of sorrow because that's got to be a lonely place.
It is.
Do you think that someone 18, 19, 20 years old who are just starting to learn who they are will pick up your book, Dancing Like Nobody's Watching, Contra Dance, and be able to say, oh, that was me. That is me. There's a way out of this?
Mhm.
Is that what you, well, I guess, is that what you hope for?
I do, and I'm glad that you framed it that way with young people because the my generation, I think, are the readers that would naturally kind of gravitate towards the story because they can relate to it. But Jason is a recent college grad,
Mm,
so the story is for the 20-something-year-olds, the 18 to 19, in college trying to figure out who they are, right?
mm-hmm.
Jason takes a job in Chicago because he doesn't want to be around his family because he's trying to figure out who he is, and he can't do that around them.
Gotcha.
Don't know that. Yeah, why
Yeah.
don't you take the job in New York? Oh, I need to.
Yeah.
That's too close. I need to get away
Uh
so I
huh.
can me. So I
Yeah.
think that the 18, 19, early 20s would really relate to it because I think those are questions that all 20 somethings had, regardless of I think the time of the era. You know, who
Yeah.
am I? How am I showing up? How do I
Yeah.
live? Even Jason, his struggle is he wants to live authentically.
Mm-hmm.
He does a job, and he's in, of all places, he chooses marketing, advertising, which is all about lies, right? It's all about selling people stuff, right? So he chooses that career and he says, "Oh, why can't I live authentically? Like, come on, that, right?"
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's a great point. Oh, I love that. I try just I love this conversation, and I feel like there is someone out here listening who is feeling a little bit better. I feel like someone's out here listening and saying, "It's not just me. I'm not alone." Um, and maybe I need to go choose my family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and maybe I'll try one thing, one thing to be more authentic to myself tomorrow.
I love that.
I want to ask you, as we get ready to close out this show, how can our audience stay in contact with you or stay updated on your upcoming engagements, events, the book, all the good stuff?
Okay, so thank you for asking that question. I think the best place to find me is tariddlewrites.com. My social handles are all TA Riddle Writes. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I think Facebook too. But I am the worst. I just want your audience to know. I am really trying to do better with social media because I hear you need to engage with people, but I am so private. I am really struggling with this part. So be patient with me. Follow. I'm gonna get better. I promise. I promise I'm gonna get better. It has been hard.
You heard him, okay?
I'm gonna
Life
get.
Uncensored family, you heard him here. He said he's going to do better.
I'm capturing video and with all good intentions of posting and creating. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. I promise. I promise. Follow me.
TA
Yeah, Riddle.
Riddle
Right. Yeah.
Rights.com. Scrolling at the bottom of your screen for those who are watching, TA Riddle Rights.com for those who are listening and not watching. Before I let you go, tell our audience either your greatest joy
Uh-huh.
or your favorite quote and why it's your favorite quote.
Ooh, 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 ooh. So my favorite quote was given to me by a coach, a professional coach that I had no interest in being in a relationship with, like as a coach, but I had to because my job required it.
Okay.
Right, right. I didn't want coaching. To
I
me,
didn't want any coaching.
no, it was therapy. To me, it was therapy, and I would literally say that in the meetings. This feels like therapy, right? And this is before my evolution because I'm like, wow,
Okay.
doing therapy at work, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it. But I think my coach was amazing. I had some amazing breakthroughs having those conversations with her. But she gave me, it was, I got like a paperweight maybe. And on it, it was a question, not a quote, a question. And it said, "What would you do if you knew you could not fail?"
Hmm. There it is. There it is. I think that's a very important quote that goes perfectly with today's episode.
What would you do?
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for opening up with me and my audience. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for showing up authentically.
Thank you.
Thank you for being vulnerable because, this isn't a easy conversation to have for a lot of people. And like you said earlier, you have now shown someone has now seen, which means they can too.
Thank you.
So I thank you for that. I thank you so very, very much for that.
Thank you for the space. This has been awesome. I can do more now. I'm feeling like I can go have another.
Yes, that's what we want. That's what we want. Yes. Listen, like I told you, you are now part of the Life Uncensored family, and I will have you back anytime.
Thank you, love. I
Anytime.
appreciate you. Hopefully, there'll be some things to talk about pretty soon.
I love it. I love it. TARiddlewrites.com. Make sure you tap in with him.
Please.
Troy, you've been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to ask you to sit tight with me while I close out this show. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
to your audience. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. T.A. Riddle. Wow. I could have talked to him for much more time, but know that he's got a life. So I just have a few items for you all before I let you go. First of all, I just want to thank you to everyone who showed up to the first Endless Summer Together Fest on August 15th. It was amazing. Everyone was great. Everyone had fun. I appreciate everyone, the vendors, the volunteers, the patrons. It was great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, share. Life Uncensored, Navigating Adulthood, one episode at a time. Life Uncensored Live on Instagram. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn. We're all over. So make sure that you tap in with us. All right. At Life Uncensored Live on socials. Our website is life-uncensored.com. Please make sure that you tap in with us there. If you have a story to tell, you would like to be on the show and share your story, please go to our website, life-uncensored.com. Scroll to the bottom, drop us a line. We'd love to have you. And likewise, if you have a topic, an idea for a topic for the show, same thing. Go to our website, life-uncensored.com, and drop us a line and let us know what you're thinking. In the meantime, I'm going to do as always and leave you with our quote of today, which is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And that quote is, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining today. Make sure that you are tapped in with us. Drink water, stay hydrated, and do something kind for someone. You never know. You just might change the world. Until next time,